Okay, I think it's recording now. Okay, hi everyone. This is Justina of justinasmart.com. And it's been a while, but welcome to our adult fashion classes. And welcome Sarah, who is our student here online. Hi Sarah, how you been?
Hi, I've been good. Excited to pick up on what you got to teach today again.
That's
Nice to be
awesome.
back.
So just so you guys know, we haven't been completely dead. Last time we draw, we draw the corset and the jeans, and we actually created blocks with Sarah in the meantime. So she got the pant block, and she got her blazer block, and she got her corset block. So we've been busy and we've been doing stuff so she can actually participate not only in sketching, but also in making garments and developing the line and starting her business. So Sarah decided to run with bridal business. So today we're gonna talk bridal blocks and what you needed and what the basic blocks are needed. So Sarah and I, we were analyzing couple websites, and what seems like many different dresses are actually based on couple blocks. And I'm gonna show you what are the basic blocks that you need for bridal. And we're gonna talk gowns, because our suiting and corset block is gonna be for bridal as well, but it's also gonna be for pre-bridal and all around the bridal. So kind of like, rehearsal, traveling, you have the comfy pants, comfy blazer, you have a tube top or whatnot. And you can also use this as a bridal because you may have a bride who wants a tuxedo suit, and we have those blocks. So we can cut that in any bridal fabric we want, which I think it's super neat, and it's coming more and more often, especially for the lesbian couples, when one woman or both of them want the tuxedo. So I think this is kind of fashion forward idea in a way to introduce women's suiting, which I've been a fan for 35 years, but that's just me. I'm just trying to, how would I say, pass my passion to others. And Sarah has been receptive, so I'm very thankful for it. Okay, so I'm gonna get my drawing board and I'm gonna put the camera onto the board so we can see it, how I sketch and what I sketch here. And you guys got to tell me if you can see it pretty well. You can see it, right? I have my crookies, I have my light box, and I'm gonna put a piece of paper. I'm using super fine piece of paper so you guys can see what I'm doing. But I like this crookie may work for us. I'm just trying to see if I have like, yeah, I think it's fairly similar to this one. So I'm gonna draw a couple blocks and discuss them as I go. But what I wanted to see, I'm using super fine paper so you guys can see what I'm doing. And I apologize for my running nose. I still suffer from allergies to my cat. It's almost there. So what we know, we have our tube top, right? That's what we already developed and sketched. And it has princess seams and this top. If I put this down, this top, right? So we have this top.
Yeah.
Can you guys see? Okay, this is kind of a tube top slash corset. It has princess seams. Oh, let me switch off the noise on my phone so it doesn't bother us. So this is one of the main blocks that bridal is using. Usually is a simple corset or tube top, and this is what's underneath in bridal. So either you can cut this in jacquards or some solid fabrics, or you can cut this as mesh and use as a support that you're gonna start draping something over it, like lace or whatnot, add some little necklines. And we've seen this all over, right? So we have usually those corsets don't come down. They come down nicely as well, and they go, let's say, with the ball gown dresses, typical like a Gone with the Wind princess look that we know in American culture. Or we have the corsets. I'm gonna show you what we can do with what we already designed here, right? This can go longer to cover our junk, like covering your lower waist, and then you put the mermaid dress over it. But this part of stomach is already covered and held, so you don't have to wear Spanx over it. So this part of the corset would be underneath. Monique Lullier is using that, a lot of people using that, because here is your legs, right? So you can put really well fitted gown, either mermaid or tube top or like a tube column dress over it. And this part will hold your boobs and your, the most struggling area in women. If you have struggling area in like a thigh or butt, then you put the Spanx that are kind of to your knees or whatnot. But this is another skirt. So you see, we can already see two, but this can go on and on because so we have ball gown, we have kind of mermaid, right, design, and another skirt could be just A-line, more young. That's, I've seen it lately more and more often. So it's either sheared or not sheared. It's kind of like a full circle, and that this is usually mesh or other silk, and this kind of simple bohemian and A-line will have, again, either draping over it, some interesting draping, right, crisscrossing or whatnot. We've seen this in many, or like lace patches on it, lace applique, or combination of both. So it looks like a completely different animal, but what we can recognize in all of three, they use the same block of corset. It's either super short to the waist, it's elongated through your butt and lower hip, or to the waist, or a little bit elongated even to your bottom, and then you start, let's say, with some shearing. So we have many different skirts. So now this would be ball gown, would be block number one. Mermaid or kind of fitted, I call it a kind of like a sex bomb, like a bombshell. I think it's the correct way to put it. Skirt or kind of A-line. There is also A-line that have shearing, but that will create that fullness around your waist. And not everybody likes that it's not always flattering. It depends how you are built. So, and it depends what size you're on. It's gonna look on you, and it's very personal because, as you know, the brides are the most fickle clientels ever, and they have certain idea, as they've been fed for so many years, what they want or what they should want, what's their perfect dress looks like. So as you can see, we have many silhouettes, and as a starting business, we have to think which one will serve the best for us and where our client sits, right? So I think the bombshell and mermaids are a little bit older clients. In my opinion, and from my perspective, it's more women like in their 30s and going forward. I don't know if 20-year-olds are using the bombshells unless they have that shape and they are into kind of like a Kardashian aesthetics. They will go for that. I think the younger women, from what I see, especially like a college student getting married or whatnot, go in between those two. Because it's either simpler A-line or she wants to be complete Disney princess. That's what I've seen. So now Sarah, as a business owner, will have to decide as a first dress, since we have limited resources and we have to decide on something. we have to, let's start with one skirt block. Which one like talks to you and to your business model, Sarah?
With the business model being like college students and young adults on a budget getting married, agree with you.
So
modern, the A-line design.
This one? This one?
Yeah, and then I do like, yeah, I do like that, and more like fluffy on the hip part, more pleated, but like with a
not pleated, shearing, right? This one. So you like A-line,
yeah,
at the waistline, or no shearing at the waistline? This or that?
Well, if I chose the one on the far right, would I be able to add like the lace and
yeah
embroidery on the hips too?
No problem.
Okay.
The only thing is your waistline gets really bulky. So every client will have to have a pretty small waistline. If they are a little bit chunkier and kind of like a straight, this shape doesn't work very well because it makes your waistline massive. Really massive.
Okay.
So it's up to you where we're gonna go. I think in the recent taste and recent selling reports, I see that this A-line without that much, you know, junk going on around your waist, because it's still gonna stand up. Still gonna stand up. It's just gonna make your waist slimmer. So it's up to you. We can because I want to move on and show you how to use this particular skirt block, and then we're gonna go to different corsets.
Okay, yeah, I think A-line is pretty good, the one second to the right.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll go with I mean, you can always change, it's not written in a stone, but I'm gonna show you how to use it and how it's used in. So we're gonna work first on skirts because we have the princess seam corset, and we will talk about top bodies later. So we're splitting this, kind of doing a surgical cut because we don't have a skirt right now. So we're gonna put this skirt, right? This is our basic A-line skirt, right? And it's like a full circle, so it's really full and nice. And this skirt block we can use for many different bodices. So imagine this guy. Now we can have like a long back. You can see that kind of like a train, right? In a back as well.
Yeah.
Oh, we don't have to have it. So this block, like this part, will be exactly the same, and we can play with their length. So we can add the train. That's a one version, right? Depends where she is, and it could be smaller train, you see, it could be long one, and it could be full cathedral train. And that way, this one block will give you 1, 2, 3 skirts. So that's one option. Now, when it comes to more like a cocktail skirts, right? Because we have young people not always have these giant weddings with, you know, 100 people or whatnot, or 1,000 people. Sometimes they just do like a beach or like a cocktail or lunchtime. And that skirt can also go to the ankle, right? So you have ankle standing, kind of Audrey Hepburn T-length. And it's still really beautiful. You still have legs sticking out, and you can have the top, right? Let's say we have this corset, and it's very kind of Diorish. We can do this exaggerated Dior neckline in the front. It matters how you're gonna do it. But this kind of skirt block can go from super long and like exaggerated cathedral length, and it takes less fabric as well, so it's more cost effective than the shearing. Or we can cut out this whole thing and just have plain floor length, and we can have a T-length, or you can even make your mini if you have, you know, just people going to the courthouse and they love minis, and then they can wear that as well. So this one block, you can cut the length and redesign your hem, making one skirt into, let's say, 20 skirts if you want. And you can also customize when you have different clients, when they reach out to you and they say, okay, you know, I have really great legs and I love to show them and whatnot, and I will have just this short mini because I have this really, you know, and then there's nothing wrong with it. You know, brides are different these days, and you know, we gotta be open-minded, because this is still, you can, it can be short at front and long at back as well. You know, it's, the sky is the limit. You know what I mean? So you can make this more modern. You can make this hem asymmetrical also, when one side is longer than the other. Let me switch off the light so you can see it better. You see that what I did? I did like short in the front and longer in the back, so the people can show their legs and whatnot, you know, if they want to. So there is a lot of options here. And you guys, in bridal, there is usage of overskirts. What are the overskirts? Overskirts are usually made in tulle, and they made into some dramatic scene when you wear over your skirt. So it's usually open in the front, has some kind of belt and some attachment, and you have that skirt and it's open in the front, right? And it's put over simpler dress. So let's say you have just simple, I don't know, kind of a column dress, right? Kind of more like a party dress, and then, you know, you have a simple dress and you put that skirt over, right? And making flat for bridal and kind of spectacular for your ceremony. And then you, and even with the trains and whatnot, it looks like a completely different dress. Now, you take off that after the ceremony, right? And you have just your simple dress that you are comfortable with. Because you are younger and you just want to party, you don't need two dresses that way. I mean, wealthier people will buy two different dresses, but let's say, you know, you want to have an option when people can just have that. So then you have a dress and an overskirt. You can also have your, you know, your pants. Let's say we have a slacks, right? Or jumpsuit on whatnot, and it's more modern. And then you put that skirt over it. And you have your bridal dress without even people knowing it. This romper can be short, like we discussed yesterday. We have all these discussions. We can have a short romper, and it could be just tube top. We can have a long sleeve, right, as well. Put lace over it. And you know, the sky is the limit, but what you need is like couple blocks, which is, we already have pants, we already have this simple princess tube top, and we're gonna have this skirt, right? Eventually, when people want, it's very easy to add the shirring to the skirt block when you have it. But it's harder to take it out when you have it, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's how you plan and design your bridal. Now let's talk about tops. So this was like very simple and kind of fast, and usually these skirts are built up from super slim to super fluffy and big. You can see a lot of that on Monique Lullier website or other bridal designers. This can come from like 5 to 55 layers of tulle. Depend how much fullness you want. So again, just within the fullness itself, you can have 50 dresses of 50 different designs. Now, if you play with color, when each tool, or you have like 5 different shades of tool, you can mix blush with ivory, with nude, and create that texture, dimension, and color underneath. That's adding to the value of each skirt. And you play with the colors, you play with the appliques, you play, let's say top will be beaded or like pearlized or something. Could be ombre, it can go from dark to light white. You know what I mean? It will differentiate each of your designs that way. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Any questions to the skirt blocks?
So far, no, I think it looks great, and it's cool to see that differences in there.
Right? Yeah, especially when it's harder for newbies to see that on a picture from the collection, because you are not part of that creative business to see where this each piece came from. So I walk you through really fast through like a design piece, how the creative idea comes to life. So let's talk the difference between two corsets. Because we have corset, right? We have this, right now we have this princess corset. And let's talk about cup corset. So let's say they are like, it depends, right? How they are created. The cups, they usually cut here. Oh my God, they make her so delicious. So this is like a typical bra cup, right? Corset. You can see it, right?
Yeah.
And of course, you can play with the necklines here as well, and can make more coverage, less coverage. They can be balconets, just like the bras are created. So imagine you just have a bra cup and this kind of corset. So there is 2 different ones. What's the difference and how to use it? So this corset can run with sizing. If it's not stretched, can run from 0, 2, 4, 6, etc. Right? So it's easy to pick and choose. You don't have to worry with the bra size here. For this one, it's a little bit different because it's 0 and you can have cup size, bra cup size A, 0B, 0C cup, 0D, 0 double D. Usually it stops at double D. But you have to be prepared to have that option for triple D or whatever they go down. But you see, you have one side because it just coverage, it just hugs your boob. So you don't have to deal with each breast at the time, worrying about the size of this cup. So it's very popular and every bridal has it, but it takes more involvement in it and it's very costly to develop them. So this is going to be something you will have to implement within a year or 6 months of running your business. It's going to be a must, but it has to be perfected fit-wise before you move on because it's more complicated to deal with it. So normally you will have 2 corsets as a top part of the dress, top, romper, whatever it is. It's going to be called bodice. Now, another bodice that we've seen quite often these days is this very simple kind of V-neck top. Some only, right? So we've seen that in meshes. They come, sometimes the V-necks come here. You can do the boat neck here. You can run your V-neck to the waist and play with it. But you have a one block that you can apply all those necklines on top of it when it's developed. So first you will develop just a basic bodice, right? Let's say with the crew neck, because you will need that too eventually, right? So that's your basic bodice, and from this bodice, any V-neck can come through, any boat neck, anything. And for the back, right, You can have either open back neckline. This is the back. I'm drawing the back right now with simple darts. So this could be open neckline, right?
Mm-hmm.
Could be super duper open. You see that, like a U open.
Yeah.
Right? So let's say this is gonna go
Yes.
like a, I don't know, let's say the bombshell skirt, because I think that should be your second skirt you're gonna do. It's like like a slim or column or something, because it's good to have super simple one as well. Either kind of like a column, like princess or little bombshell, and then you can play with all these tops attaching to it. Now,
Yeah.
when we have a basic like a crew neck, right, I will add princess seams, because you can play with those princess seams later. You can turn them into darts, into French darts or regular darts. You can turn them the other direction. The seams can go from top, because it's all playing the pivot. Depends where you want to be, what you want to do. But this one can have a sleeve, and let's say long slim sleeve, that we can turn, because this is slim, this is a sleeve, block lives here. So block sleeve lives in an armhole shape and a sleeve cup setting. So this is what's most important in your sleeve block, this part. When you have this nailed down, let me move this here a little bit maybe. Oh, my cables are too short. Yeah. When you have this nailed down, right, this part of your block, you can switch the sleeve length as much as you want. You can change it to a bell sleeve, right? You can make it shorter elbow slim sleeve. You can make it into puff sleeve if you want, eventually. But this one, that's where your dollar sits, okay? This is your money-making machine. Because a lot of sleeves, you cannot move your arms, you're very uncomfortable. And for bridal, no one pays attention, because you wear it for 10 hours and no one cares if you're uncomfortable or not. So if your clients are gonna be comfortable, they're gonna come back to you for ready to wear, because all these dresses, look at this simple dress, you can turn this to ready to wear. You can cut this in a white, make it bridal, or cut in a black and make a mother of the bride. You know what I mean? Or you can make it bridesmaids. So that's how you make your business. You have couple staples that you play around with fabrics and colors and sizes to make it what you need to be to make money. Because this is not a hobby. We're not making because we have a, today you wake up and you want a sky blue dress that you think it's cute. What you have to think about is what makes you money and how to proceed. And eventually when you start selling, you will know what your top sellers are and move from that. So today is more not even about the sketching per se, but like a thinking and designing from the business point of view, if that makes sense. Yeah. Do you have any comments or any questions? Because right now for bridal, you will need eventually, most bridals as we've seen it, right? Run on these 3 blocks. They have this princess seam tube, they have a proper bra corset, and they have some kind of bodies that they wear. This can even go over the corsets. If it's see-through, if it's made in lace, if it's made of mesh that is embroidered or beaded. And that's how simple most of these bridals business designs are. They kind of, reusing what you have and watching where the trends are. And you can lower your armhole, you can bring it up, you can do whatever you want, but everything has to be coherent. And what's gonna make it yours and what's gonna make you stand up? Because who needs another bridal business? How are you gonna differentiate yourself from others?
Definitely.
Will be your fit, because we decided to do the curvy fit. So kind of Latina slash Afro-American woman fit that they can come and have the pants and small waists and this hourglass shape without tons of stretch in it, just really well tailored, which we did for the blazer and your top, and even your corset is adjusted to that.
Yeah.
Now, so we have, let's say, for you to move forward with this, because we already have the tube top, right? We already have this one. Skip this one for a second, because this will work the same and it's less work. And go to the top like this. So I think you should have a top and this top, that way it's two. We can mix and match and have two skirts, have kind of slim skirt and the overskirt.
Yes.
Because even this top, we can turn into silk top and wear with your blazer and tuxedo. Overskirt will work over your tuxedo, or it will work with your dresses or as an overskirt. And that's a good start to have those pieces.
Yeah, definitely.
Right? So it's not like all over the place. And the next thing you need will be some kind of accessory, will be some kind of a veil, fascinator, little pin, little band with mesh, something that young women will want. So veils are really simple fabrics, piece of fabrics that are embellished and in a different length. So you have kind of like a little, you know, they call it a blush veil. So it's kind of, you cover your face and just kind of to like super short. You can have it like to your waistline. You can have it longer or long as your dress. And super long. So each veil can be adjusted to the dress length and the styling. But there is a one block. So one block that you drew, most of those veils are just oval pieces. You would be surprised that most of the veils, right, are kind of like a oval pieces. That's how they are when it's open. And here is attachment to your head, right? So here is your blush part that you put over your face and then you turn it. And here is your length. And what you do, you just do embellishments here, right? Either like lace or some kind of edge or beading. You can put some embellishments in the middle to match with the dress or whatnot, right? Yeah. Now you can see that this shape can go here, right? Yeah. And go here and can go here, kind of like an egg shape in a way. Yeah. So it's good to have one long one block that we can trim it. And there are specific lengths, exactly how much is here. If it's 36, let's say, this one it's like 50 something, and this one is 86 or whatnot, right? Yeah. So people will know where you sit, but we start from one. And I will highly recommend to make veils in real silk, because the synthetic mesh or tulle, it's really kind of nasty. So we can use synthetics for the dresses and underlayer of skirts and whatnot, but for veils, I will make them in real silk, which means we will have to have a short one, because long one is going to be expensive. Because silk tulle is expensive, it's very narrow as well, but there is no exchanging. We can offer, if people want to pay, you know, very little, because veils and even fascinators go from $600 and up. So we have to calculate how much you can do. But I will also introduce something younger, like this, you know, this kind of beefy, Prada inspired, you know, like the satin headband people were using, right? Yeah. We'll have a headband or something, and then simply putting just, you know, some kind of mesh to it. So at least your face is kind of covered. Very
Yeah.
Diorish way of doing that nest around your face. Because this is very simple and young, we can make that into a fascinator as well, which I think is a little bit older, you know, kind of classic, typical, kind of turned into a head with feathers and whatnot fascinators. You can see in England, and if you watch any of the royal weddings, a lot of guests are wearing that as well. Those are really classy and chic. So this is more like a kind of old-fashioned statement. But we can turn each of this modern new like headbands, right? You can take it in and take it out, and it doesn't mess up your hair.
Yeah.
You can turn that into fascinator too. You just need to attach couple flowers, couple feathers, and you have a fascinator on top of it. So something new, something young. So you can have, let's say, two options. You can have that, you know, that I think it's called cage, the face cage design, and the veil. So it's more classic and more modern, and this can go for like, you know, even that suit. Let's say you have the tuxedo, but you want to be a little bit more Marlena Dietrich. That would be my style. I would not wear like super masculine thing and like, you know, fedora hat with it, whatever, you know, I would not wear that. I would like to wear a little sexy fascinator or some cage, so it makes more like this 1920s women's look.
Yeah.
It's more feminine. So it's more masculine, more feminine, which we can play with. But that would be your basic to start your bridal business.
Yeah.
That way you can start, let's say, with 3 gowns to 6 gowns if you want, but I will start with 3 gowns block and offer 2 colors or 3 colors, which is, let's say, white, blush, and you can offer black.
Yeah.
And black, it's for more modern brides, or even you know, bridesmaids, or anyone who's going to the wedding. So black is like a new white. More and more celebrities are doing black wedding dresses. It's not majority. You're not gonna make a bank on that. You're gonna make a bank on white because that sells the most. But blush has been selling really, really well because it's more flashy. It's kind of not too much pink in it, but just barely like playing between the off-white and blush underneath. So it gives you a little kick. Some people do blue dresses. They don't sell as well. They usually buy the plain white one, and there is no problem. So how does it sound to you?
Yeah. That versatile colors and just 3 blocks working with, and having like the difference with the curvy fit. Yeah, I think it makes it target a particular group of people who will go to it. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you save money and you get the chance to have really good fits. Like we fitted that the tube top pants and your blazer in muslin. Then we fitted in real fabric. It takes time and money. So you gotta save that and be smart about it, because we didn't sell anything yet. Of course, we have to have some products to sell it.
Yeah.
So if going forward we develop you know, just the bodies, you know, the bodies that you can attach the sleeve to it and make it into V-neck, you know, round neck, whatnot, and do the overskirt and do the slim skirt, there will be 3 blocks to develop. And the 4th block will be your veil block if you decide to do it. So you have 3 blocks and 4 more blocks. You have 7 blocks to start your line. And what do you have to do in the meantime? Do not wait for it, because we procrastinate too much. We have to build up your store, your idea, your marketing, make the samples out of blocks, and a lot of money will go to photo shoot.
Yeah.
And website development. That's going to be a major cost. after the block development, because block development is not cheap. Is not cheap either.
Yeah.
And since you're doing with me, we're doing only 2 rounds. There is no like mistakes or, you know, we're doing it really like fast and on the money. And that way is really efficient without the fashion waste. Yeah?
Yeah. It's been good. Yeah, you've been amazing. Yeah.
All right. So I think that's good for today. So sit on it and think. And next week, if you are available, we can work on details, like have the fabric in your hand and sketch and design actual pieces. You know, each dress, what do you want to lounge with? How to dress this, because this was just idea for what you want to overall choose from. But the next week we can do 1 or 2 specific designs that we're gonna move on with after the block is done.
That sounds good. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you for watching. Hope you learn a lot, and send us your questions. We are happy to answer anything, and it was a pleasure. Thank you much, Sarah, for your time.
Thank you.
Okay, and see you guys soon. Please visit me at justinasmart.com or email me at justina@justinasmart.com, and it's JUSTYNASMART.com. Thank you.